the thirst quencher.
But who do you have to screw around here to get a cup of tea and a chocolate biscuit?
LemonAdio.com.
And welcome back to 13 Folds Live on LemonAdio.com. I'm Dave Death, and I'm joined here with my co-host Eddie Bills and Jess Salemi. How you guys doing tonight? Are we on?
Good, we're doing good. We're doing good.
Doing all
Did I
right.
catch you on surprise?
Thank you, Dave.
Caught you by surprise talking to you and all there?
It always catches me by surprise for some reason. I never expect you to bring me in like that.
Well, you
Wow.
know, I'm actually here tonight, so I'm used to being on the computer watching you guys.
Yeah, that's a rarity.
Yeah.
Thank God you made it back safely, though.
I did.
so.
I did.
You know, we'll take what we can get here, you know, as far as guests go, which is why we're bringing my good friend, Josh McLaughlin, straight from Maine of Pink Polar Bear. How you doing tonight, Josh?
Wait a minute. I thought this was Spittin' Chicklets podcast.
Nope. You got 13 Folds Live.
Oh, yeah. Hey, thanks for having me, man. Thanks for having me.
So, how's the weather up there, man? We just got blasted a week ago. How'd you guys fare up there in Maine?
Wasn't too bad, really. I'm in Worcester right now, and it was freezing today. I know that. It was 11 degrees this morning.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, man. I'm tired of this. Although it is the middle of winter.
Up in Maine this winter, actually.
Well, hopefully it gets warm soon. Hopefully COVID goes away. We can start doing some live shows again. That would be fun. You know, to go out and enjoy live music with friends and people that you haven't seen in over a year now.
Really?
Or actually, it's close to a year. It was like March 15th or something like that is when they shut everything down here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember it was St. Patrick's Day when we got kicked out of a job in Boston because they shut down the city.
Oh, wow.
We went home. Yep. It was St. Patty's Day. It sucked.
So you are from Maine, but from what what I remember, you kind of had your comeuppance here in Rhode Island as a musician. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, first started off in the late 90s, back in my day.
Back
After
before
high school,
the
I went to
internet.
Mass College of Art, where I met you. So I went to art school for a couple of years, and then around 1999, my brother and our drummer and bass player, Jeremy and Joel, graduated high school that year.
Yeah.
And me and Jim are off. So me and Jim aren't college dropouts. We just pursued our musical careers.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Oh, yeah. We ended up going to Rhode Island because it was kind of a centralized hub. So we could hit up Boston, New York City, in Pennsylvania, and still get back to Maine when we wanted to, too. So
Yeah, it's a
pretty good
relatively
spot.
quick 8-hour drive.
Yeah. Blink of an eye. It's a blink of an eye and you get back there.
Yeah, in mainland terms.
Yeah.
So
And
you guys came-
Daigle's got out of the military too that year in '99. I think it was '99, right, Jim? Yeah, Daigle got out of the Navy. He was in the Navy for 4 years, so he quit the Navy to be in Donnybrook.
What did he do for you guys?
He played the keyboards and played percussion.
Yeah, I remember for a while there was like 8 people or so in the band that every time the band was on stage, it looked like a Donnybrook.
It was pretty fun at the Met Cafe with that many people. You remember that stage? It was about the size of a bed.
Oh, the old Met Cafe. Yeah.
The old Met Cafe, yeah.
So you guys were playing a lot. That was around the time when I came down to Providence, I think, and you were out. You guys were playing all over the place. Who were some of your local acts from back in the day?
That we from Providence, you mean?
From Providence, because when you came down here, you guys were the young pups on the scene.
Yeah. Well, another reason why we picked Providence too is that a band called Shed. Everybody remembers Shed.
Yeah.
They used to come up to Maine and play up in Old Town. So we knew that there was one good band here at least. So we were like, there's a good band there, so let's check it out. And, so we thought that was cool running in the shed. The other bands like Say to Corruption,
Yeah.
SOC were fun to play with. Face Called Hate, Kal-El, Pray for Nothing. We played with them guys a lot. Slugworth is pretty cool to party with backstage at the living room and smoke tons of weed with.
Yeah.
Greg Rourke's reggae bands are always awesome.
Yep.
Hey, he's still out there doing it, man.
Hell yeah. We were over at the parlor last week, had some pizza and hung out with him for a little bit. It was cool.
Awesome. Little shout out to
And
the
then,
parlor.
Rubicon from Boston too is a pretty good group to play with from around New England area that we brought into town a lot.
Nice.
Yeah.
You guys used to bring down all the good metal bands from Maine. Used to come down and play these giant shows with you guys. I remember that.
Yeah, Novus had come down quite a bit.
Yeah.
I remember Novus.
Novus was a little bit. It got bigger than you for a little bit because of those shows, man.
Hey, heavy shit, man.
Yeah, they were, and we used to have some ragers together back in the day. I miss those days.
I actually joined forces with them on one of their albums, and Jim played on that album too.
Nice.
So we after Donnybrook broke up, we kind of joined forces for a little bit and played a few good festivals up in Maine. It was awesome.
So now when I came down to Providence, and actually you guys were, it was our relationship growing up was kind of the reason I came to Providence was I had friends here. So I was like, all right, well, I'm going to check out Providence. I know people there. And I came here and you guys were on tour out west or something like that.
Yep.
And
yeah, I was surprised that you moved to Rhode Island. We were gone. I was like, actually, we went on tour after we knew you were coming there.
get away.
So yeah,
You're like, fucking Dave Death's coming. Let's go now. Pack up the van.
Yeah, we were kind of touring up and down the eastern seaboard, and a couple of our friends are out there. A band called Neurobox from New York City.
Yeah,
we're living in LA, and they kind of were like, "Come out to LA, guys. You know, you can stay at our place." And then another guy heard of us online. Our friend from the band Fluid, Chris Pendergrass, and he lived in Hemet, California, which is like halfway between LA and San Diego.
Yeah.
So we kind of had two bases there, and once we got out there, we didn't want to come back, so we just hung out there for quite a long time.
Left me all to my lonesome in Rhode Island to fend for myself.
California's pretty nice when you're used to the cold bitterness of the East Coast.
So now you were playing with some bigger bands out there though for a little bit, right?
We played with Apex Theory a few times, and then in the East Coast we were playing with Dog Fashion Disco and Nothing Face a couple times too. Those are pretty good mini tours that we were on.
Yeah, I see. The shows I remember that stick out were like when you guys played with Clutch.
Yeah, that was
so that was
one of the best shows we had in Providence. It was at Lupo's.
Was it Tree on that show or?
They might have been. I think
Typo Negative.
It might have been
Typo Negative, wasn't it?
Fighting Tree and Donnybrook.
What year was that show?
I don't know. It's a while. I get a poster for it. Yeah, actually, Donnybrook. I have some of my favorite posters that I've designed are Donnybrook posters. So
those are my favorite posters. They're in the Stoneboat Saloon, actually.
Ooh, we're gonna talk about Stoneboat later. Now,
Stoneboat represent.
Stoneboat. So, but before we do that, I want to play some music. I got a song off of your newest project, Pink Polar Bear. When did you put this album out? This was something that you were working on before COVID.
Yeah, me and Jim, or my cousin Jim, who's in Donnybrook, guitar player, we work together too. We have our own union pipe fitting company.
Nice.
And we hadn't been playing or recording at all, so we were like, we need to write some tunes. And pretty much you can't stop a writer. You got to keep going or you go crazy. So we were like, we got to keep rocking out, and we come up with the concept, and we got our buddy Randy Burke to play bass with us.
Yeah.
High school skateboarder.
I remember Burke. I got into some trouble with Burke a lot.
Stoneboat participant. And we just got together. We wrote 5 songs, and we've had the same 5 songs for about 4 or 5 years, and we finally recorded them.
So you got really good at them, though, right?
Yeah, we got really good at them. Like we played them for once about 2 years straight, we played him. We never wrote a new one yet. So.
All right.
But
so
we recorded him and released him last year, at the end of last year.
So
COVID-19 kind of helped us out by actually getting it done.
good. Gave you that time so you weren't so busy running around working.
That's right.
All right, we're gonna play Warship off of Pink Polar Bear's self-titled CD, Pink Polar Bear. Not or did you name the CD, or is it self-titled? That's it.
Just Pink Polar Bear.
Just Pink Polar Bear.
Yeah.
You had a year of COVID to sit down and think of a cool name, and you just
We didn't have them time to think.
a year wasn't enough time.
No.
All right. Hey, before we listen to this, I just want to do a quick shout out to our sponsors. Northeast Alternatives, our premier sponsor. They make all this happen. We also have Solar Therapeutics, Kind Card, Wonderland Smoke Shop. Thank you guys for allowing us and giving us the opportunity to do this. So keep listening. We'll be back to talk to Josh McLaughlin of Pink Polar Bear in a few. Right now, here's Warship, Pink Polar Bear. Welcome back to 13 Folds Live on lemonadio.com. I'm Dave Death, and I'm joined here with my good friend Josh McLaughlin of Pink Polar Bear, and that's what we were just listening to. That one was The Widow of Death, and yeah, not my widow, another death, I assume. Is that it? It is about me, is it? You were dumbfounded there for a minute. Was that about me?
Don't want to reveal too much.
Oh,
I want to leave interpretation for the listener.
All right. Well, if it is about me, I'd like some sort of royalties if it takes off.
You didn't get them checks?
Got to get my music check.
Can you pay that rent?
So after you guys went out west, you were touring, everything was going good. Then there was a tragic accident in the band. Tell us about that. What happened?
It actually is before we went west. It was about a year before that, year and a half, 2 years before that, I think. And we were coming back from a show in New York City. And half of us stayed in New York with our producer / good buddy, Josh Wilbur. And the rest of them went back. Daigle and Jeremy went back with our old manager, and they got in a pretty bad car accident in Connecticut. Rolled over the SUV, and they got pretty fucked up. Jeremy was out of commission for a long time after that. And
yeah, I remember.
We got our good buddy Nick Idden from not from Providence, but you might know him from around Providence, Fall River. Nick Idden, the drummer extraordinaire.
One of my favorite drummers. He's in like 10 bands. The dude's in more bands than anybody I ever met.
I've never met anybody in more bands.
I'm surprised he's not on this album.
He actually played with us at the Rebel Sunrise, me and Burke.
Yes.
2 years ago. Remember that?
Yes, that was one of our shows.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. Two of them, actually. Simon's and then Fat Squirrel.
The Parlor?
Or something like that.
Oh, the Fat Squirrel, yes.
Yeah, Halloween.
Which is now askew. Psycho and Windsong have that. And they turned it into an awesome little venue.
Yeah. But
We'll get you back down here.
back to the timeline. Back to the timeline.
Back to the timeline, chum.
So yeah, after that accident, Nick filled in for a while so we could keep playing because we had a publishing deal at the time with Windswept Publishers, publishing whatever the hell their name was. So they kind of kept us on the road. Didn't give us much money, but enough for us not to work. So we pretty much paid our van payment and our rent or whatever, gas money. And so we kept playing. Thanks, Nick, we could. And then Jeremy came back to health. And around that time, we had to part ways with Daigle.
Yep.
So we were just a 5-piece after that. And then that's when we started touring Eastern Seaboard. Then we went out west.
Yeah.
And then we were doing that. And we can't.
Did you meet Lemmy out there?
What was that?
Didn't you meet Lemmy out there? One of the.
We had a drink with Lemmy at the Rainbow Room.
Nice.
He was pretty cool. He was sitting there every day, and it was just like, "Where do you get?" We had to talk to Lemmy. It was like we didn't want to be like, "Hey, what's up, Lemmy? You know, like how's it going?" But then we were like, "Wait, he's here every day. Are we ever going to see Lemmy ever again if we don't come back?" So we ended up talking to him, and he's looking nice. We talked to him about Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
He was the roadie for Hendrix, so he was kind of like nice to us, and we didn't seem like the fanboy types to him. So I think he thought we were cool.
Oh, that's cool. As long as he
Rest in
didn't
peace, Lemmy.
eat your soul or anything like that.
Right.
So all right. So then you came back here. I remember some of those next couple years were pretty big, but at the same time as things were going well, it seemed like the band was kind of drifting into different directions, like going through some transformations.
Yeah. Our bass player, Joel, he decided after a while that he didn't want to really just live the lifestyle of traveling around and playing music anymore. So we ended up parting ways with Joel, and we got our buddy Kel Swifty, who was playing with Neurobox at the time. He's a bass player from Neurobox. He's originally from Colorado. He lives out there again now, but he filled in for Joel after that. And we kind of changed our name from Donnybrook to Red Cloud Revival just because, I don't know, it didn't feel the same once we started losing some of the old members.
Yeah.
Didn't really have the Donnybrook. We were all from the same high school.
Yeah.
So it was kind of different now. And there was another band out in the West Coast, a hardcore band called Donnybrook too. And they, people were getting us confused with them. He was like, fuck it, we'll just change our name. So we did that for about not too long, man. We were only with Swift for maybe a year, Jim, maybe, if that. And they're coming. Swift moved to the East Coast with us and lived in Maine.
But Red Cloud was still a lot of the Donnybrook songs and stuff.
Yeah,
just a new name.
Were actually Donnybrook songs that we wrote out in LA. Yep.
So you still had that tribal sound and everything.
Yeah, yeah. And that was actually the last one we put out, that Red Cloud CD, which is all Donnybrook songs. It was our code name.
Yeah.
Red Cloud Revival. And that all ended because same thing that happened to Jeremy, that happened with Joel. Jeremy wanted to cease the lifestyle. So me and Jim and Jake sat together and we talked it over, and we were like, we all just decided that we should probably close the doors. And Jake went on to do solo music, and he still does that today under Jacob Augustine.
Yeah, he's got so many different bands, and
he's got a lot of music out there, man. I
He'll
don't
be
know
on
anybody
next week.
that's written more songs than him.
He will be on next week. You'll have to tune in. You should go up to his place, and you should interview bomb him.
Is it Tuesday?
It's a Tuesday, though.
Tuesday, right?
Yeah, you'll be down
I'll be
here.
back in Worcester next week. I won't be able to.
All right.
Burke might be able to, though. Burke, you hear that?
Send Burke on a mission.
I know that Burke's out there right now listening.
So everybody kind of went off and did their own things, and then you and Jim walked off hand in hand into the sunset together, started another project called Pink Polar Bear.
Pink Polar Bear, yeah. Yeah, we
fitting.
Both joined the Pipe Fitters Union, Local 716, representing.
Represent.
So we're pipe fitters / rockers.
And that's not code for anything, guys.
No.
They're actual pipe fitters.
Yeah.
So Though it's questionable sometimes.
No comment.
So Pink Polar Bear. Now, why Pink Polar Bear? Where'd the whole concept of a pink polar bear come from?
Back in the late 90s, we had a good buddy of ours, Thibodeau. He was in the Navy, and he was overseas. I can't remember where, but he ran into some dudes in the British Navy or the British Army. I can't remember which branch it was, but they introduced him to a drink called Pink Polar Bear.
Okay.
And Thibodeau brought it back with him to us.
Ah.
If anybody knows us from back then, we like to drink. And that drink will make you black out and go berserk.
The
Wow.
Pink Polar Bear.
So is it kind of like absinthe almost, or?
It's a mixture of milk, grenadine, some type of rum or something, and then a lot of vodka in it, I think. So it masks the vodka, and it tastes like a milkshake, pretty much, a pink milkshake.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, that
So
sounds
I
like
got
trouble.
arrested one night.
On the Pink Polar Bear.
Yeah, I ran from the cops. I was only like 19. And, they tackled me and maced me.
Oh no.
So that was pretty fun.
Well, at least they didn't shoot you.
They didn't.
They didn't
They
shoot
didn't.
you. Back in
White
the day,
privilege.
that used to be, you didn't always have to get shot when you ran into cops.
Right.
Back when we were
That was
kids.
the late 90s, so it wasn't totally like it is now.
So Pink Polar Bear now is you, Jim, and Burke. You and Jim have been playing together in every band that I've known you in. Was he in Trap
Pretty
Jaw?
much. Trap Jaw back in the day.
He was in Trap Jaw back in the day.
Trap Jaw, Donnybrook, Red Cloud Revival, Nobis.
Yeah, he's
Polar
your
Bear.
he's your hetero life mate in music.
Hey, we've known each other since we were born.
And so yeah, that's pretty cool. Now, in Pink Polar Bear, though, you're not the front man where you usually, well, you are, but you're also doing drums again.
Yes.
So tell us what's the difference now, being able to, as opposed to working with all the people you worked with in Donnybrook, putting a song together, to where it just being like you, Jim, and Burke. And how does that work? How does the production process work when you're writing songs and music?
Well, it pretty much started. I think we had like 4 of the tunes pretty much started before Bert had joined up with me and Jim. And Jim just comes up with some riffs, or I'll come up with some beats. The same with Bert too. He came up with the last song, Monster Nut, on that CD
Nice.
album, whatever you want to call it, digital thing. But we just it's pretty open table. We just come up with ideas, and then everybody will throw in their 2 cents, and if something sounds cool in the other part, we'll just change it. There's no egos involved. We just want to write good songs and have fun doing it.
Now, are you writing all the lyrics?
Yeah, I wrote all the lyrics too on this.
So what do you guys do? Put the music together first, then the lyrics?
Yeah, that's what happened. We had all the songs pretty much done, and I had some ideas for some lyrics. And after we planned on having somebody different sing on each song.
Yeah.
And then COVID-19 struck, so we didn't really have the opportunity to do that. So I just was like, fuck it, I'm doing it.
And no singing allowed. No singing
Yeah.
or dancing with COVID.
No, I couldn't even dance, so I was like, it's not.
It's a pretty
You know,
horrible
your old
situation.
nickname was Dave Dance.
So dance, motherfucker, dance, motherfucker, dance.
Ted Danson.
Ted Danson. We all had a bunch of aliases back in the day. Nobody knew who you were talking about.
Wu-Tang Clan style.
So now you produced the CD in the Stoneboat Saloon, I believe. Am I right?
Yeah, that's our practice space. It's our drinking space. There's a bar in there. Got a pool table in there.
It's
And,
like a speakeasy. I love that.
It
spot.
is. It's like a speakeasy, which is the name of the first Donnybrook CD back in 1997. Let's not forget about the original.
So it all
actually,
comes
that was
back
Donnybrook.
around. Eventually, it all comes back
Actually,
around.
Pink Polar Bear, I'd like to add, was also a Donnybrook song back in the 90s, too.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah, I just remembered that when I was writing the notes out. I was just like, wait a minute, Pink Polar Bear is an old song that I can't remember how it went, but I still have the lyrics to it.
So you just like to bring things back. That's the thing is you're a traditionalist, man.
You got to keep recycling the history.
I was just
Yeah.
gonna say,
People don't
why not
forget.
bring it back if you can?
Yeah, the historian of rock.
Campfire talk.
Back in the day when we used to have songs with actual
Back in my
with
day,
actual
we used to
names
put
and
these
drums.
things called concerts.
People used to sing them in person, right in front of you, without a
There were these
mask.
things called crowds.
So, all right, man. I want to play another song. I got Time to Chop Off Their Heads. I like your titles for your songs. Very melodramatic, almost like love songs.
I'm almost always about the love and the peace.
So we got Time to Chop Off Their Heads, brought to you by Northeast Alternatives, Solar Therapeutics, Kind Card. There's nothing kind about that, huh? You're going to make me lose my sponsors with these names.
I'll remember that next time we do it.
Yeah, I need calmer names. All right, and Wonderland Smoke Shop. Thank you guys for making all this happen. So here we go. You're listening to 13 Folds live on lemonadio.com. Time to Chop Off Their Heads by Pink Polar Bear.
New poison, did they put in my air today? What news? Off with their heads. Down to over their heads. Off with their heads.
Welcome back to 13 Folds Live on lemonadio.com. And that was Time to Chop Off Their Heads by Pink Polar Bear. And I'm here with the, can I call you front man or do I got to call you back man because you're sitting on the drums now?
It's a good question.
Josh
Maybe the
McLaughlin.
middleman.
Joshua Paul McLaughlin. Does anybody call you that? Even though that's how you present yourself on all your website stuff, which, speaking of website stuff, go check them out on Bandcamp. It's pinkpolarbear.bandcamp.com. Go check it out. It's all the songs that we're playing tonight are available on a CD. And I believe it's like $1,000 a CD though. It's pretty
No, that's
pricey.
Rebel Sunrise.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Pink Polar Bear CDs are like $10, maybe, or less than that.
No, I think it's $8.
But we have free downloads on Bandcamp too. Name your price, so you can get them for free.
You
Go
can
ahead.
get them for free, but
Don't
it's
care.
COVID. Send them some money. Come on, cheap
Yeah,
fuckers.
we don't need money. We just want people to listen to it.
All right, well, send me your money.
Send Dave the money.
Dave at bandcamp.com. Feed the homeless. It's a charity I set up for myself just in case I lose everything from copyright infringement. we have a little backdoor fund. So yeah, Pink Polar Bear, you did that during you started it before, you finished it up during COVID. You did all the recording at the Stone Boat. So we were talking about the Stone Boat and a little bit about some of the excitement that goes on there. So why don't you explain to us where's Stone Boat? Where's the name Stone Boat even come from?
The Stone Boat comes from our annual canoe trip that we go on.
Down to Saco?
No, down to Penobscot.
So
we start near Lincoln, Maine and end in Bangor, Maine. It's like a 2-day beer drinking trip that we canoe at.
And so That's the stone boat is the event.
The stone boat's my boat.
That's your boat.
Yeah.
So do you have the boat hanging up in the bar? I don't remember.
No, it's out back. But
Actually, last time I drank at the stone boat, I believe I took out your entire bathroom at one point that night.
No, you didn't.
I didn't
was
throw up
you.
or anything, but like I fell. I don't
oh,
remember
yeah,
it.
I remember that.
I woke up in the bathroom covered
the
in
dark.
like toilet paper and like it's like I didn't just fall. I fell on everything in the bathroom and wiped it off the shelves. And I woke up with fucking everything on me. His wife's like, "What did you do last
You
night?"
didn't go through the. You didn't like go through the walls or
No, I
anything
didn't do
like
anything.
That.
No,
I
no.
just
All right.
like I think I might have just fell
The
and
sink
tried to
stayed up on
catch
the wall.
myself and tried to catch
remember-
myself on everything. Surprised that I didn't wake up with the shower curtain and shit on me.
I remember that it was who was the last people? Me, you, brother Jake, and Steph Johnson are the last people up, and we were still drinking whiskey, and it was like 4 a.m. I think the sun was coming up.
Yeah. Yeah, good times, good times.
It's usually what happens there at my birthday party. So
Yeah, I miss those.
that's the
days,
only
man.
time that Pink Polar Bear plays too. One night a year, my birthday.
I can't wait until COVID is over and we can all start mingling again. Let's give each
I
other
know.
new diseases, you know?
Right. You have
Um,
to
so
get
what else you got?
creative.
So we were talking about Rebel Sunrise. Have you done
Yeah.
anything else with Rebel Sunrise?
Yes, actually, I just finished up recording a new album a couple weeks ago, and it's about to be mixed as we speak. So I'm hoping to release that really early in the springtime, by the way things are looking. So there's 7 new songs, and I haven't had one out under Rebel Sunrise since I think it was 2012. So it's
That's
been
a while
pretty-
ago.
Yeah, it was within the first year of my oldest kid's life, Sabina. And I got that done when she was just an infant. And I hadn't got to do anything really with Rebel Sunrise since our twins were born in 2013 until now, because they're kind of older now and they can occupy themselves, so I can create art and
focus on
music.
creating
they like to
and-
do it too. They all play instruments too and do art.
You gotta start a
Take
family
it after
band,
the old
man. You're like the Partridge Family.
Yes, actually. Bum, 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 bum,
Dude,
bum, bum,
I will
bum.
totally. We'll make a night. We'll make a variety show night, and your family can be the.
I know pretty much all of our cousins play music too, and a lot of our family, lifelong musicians.
Yeah,
Tradition.
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 So, all right, Rebel Sunrise. Explain that a little bit. I mean, I know we got Pink Polar Bear. We're promoting that, but explain the whole sound of Rebel Sunrise, and because from what I remember, that was more, like that was very tribal.
Yeah, some of it. Yeah, it was a mixture of stuff, I guess.
Dude,
I
you
don't
were
know.
walking
It's hard
around
for
with,
me
like-
to describe my own stuff sometimes.
And you were
Tribal
walking
was
around
definitely
with
tribal
wolf
owned,
skulls, and it's like you were in like this animal instinct phase while you were doing that. It was odd. It wasn't
Yeah.
odd to not to me. Like I know you, but I
kind of-
imagine as an outsider watching you in that phase, like all your creativity that you were doing. It's like I thought you were going to become like a spirit animal or something like that for a while there. I was worried about
I
you.
might have. I was while recording it, I got out of my writer's block by taking a few mushrooms while I was recording it. So
That'll happen. That'll happen.
that kind of produced some of the music. A little bit of soak in the weed that helped create openings when I was sitting there stumped, which didn't happen too much, but that fueled the first one. Let's put it that way.
All right, so this is coming out soon, and you know what? Once you get it set up, dude, let's come back on the show. Let us hear it first.
Yeah,
play
I'd
it
like
here
to
first,
debut
man.
it. I call it an outlaw alternative rock dark comedy.
Pirate Radio CD release. Yeah, come up with a better name. Don't self-title this thing. Red Cloud Revival. Red Cloud Revival 2 or whatever, what's let's come
It's
up with a
actually
name.
called Today I Will Laugh at the World.
Oh, you named it.
Yeah.
You see what a little bit of
See?
free time
I
during a
had more free
pandemic
time
will
than
do.
that one.
All right, so we're running out of time, dude. Let's listen to. I got 2 more songs, so let's rip through. Let's do Solar Storms and Violent Seas, and then we'll come back, talk a little bit more, and we'll go out on one more. How's that sound? Kimosabi. All right, so here's Solar Storms, Violent Seas. You're listening to 13 Folds live on lemonadio.com. And welcome back to 13 Folds Live on lemonadio.com. I'm Dave Death, and I'm here with special guest Josh McLaughlin of Pink Polar Bear, and then some. Thank you for joining us, man. It's been a long time. I wish if I'd known you were going to be in Worcester, I would have tried to make it a point to get up there to see you. But at least we got to do this,
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. It's awesome. Really fun.
I'm looking forward to more new projects. It's funny when you watch someone grow through their entire life in their music career and how they mature and transform as a musician. Both you and your brother, actually, who, like I said, I'm going to have Jake Augustine on next week, Tuesday. He's going to be our guest. So, if you're listening now, be sure to tune back in next Tuesday. And yeah, it's just I've seen you grow and mature, and all of your stuff throughout has always been impressive.
Thanks a lot, man. I got to thank my mom and my dad for bringing it into me, my brother and sister Sarah's life, our lives. Without good parents introducing you to good music, and you're going to listen to the pop stations.
Yeah, and we're definitely not pop here. We're like pirate radio, we're in an era where there's no such thing as pirate radio anymore because everything's at your fingertips all the time.
Right. It should be anything goes. Anything goes.
Well, you know what? We still figure out a way to be piratey about it. I'll have to get some pirate videos to show in the background or something like that.
Right.
Anyway, be sure to check out Pink Polar Bear on Bandcamp or anywhere else you can't find any music. Go find them on Facebook and Instagram. As soon as Burke gets done and gets his shit together, Burke.
Burke's our new webmaster, and you appointed him.
I appointed him webmaster as of today, officially here. Burke, get it.
Yeah, I kind of went dark in social media, so.
And also look up Rebel Sunrise. You still have Rebel Sunrise stuff on Bandcamp, correct?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So look up Rebel Sunrise. Red Cloud Revival's got to still be out there.
Yeah, check out the streaming sites too. We got a lot of the stuff on streaming sites and iTunes.
It's always good. It's always original stuff. You really don't fall into any, category. I appreciate that, and it's good to see something that's new, but still you can listen to and feel like you know it, like the sound. It's familiar, but it's COVID free. Anyways,
Get away your
man,
mask, baby.
I can't wait to see you without a mask on. Thank you to all our sponsors, Solar Therapeutics, Kind Card, Wonderland Smoke Shop, and a special shout out to Northeast Alternatives. You guys have been there for us since day one. We love you. You make this happen. We got to go. We got to keep going with this. Make it bigger. Make it better. We need you guys. What would Randy do? I love the shirt. Shout out to the
Thanks
old
to
living
Greg
room.
at the parlor. Shout out to the parlor. Can't wait to play there someday. Support your local venues and musicians
Yes.
That's right.
and artists.
Yes, which we just had a great
Well,
show this weekend.
We did have an
You know,
awesome show this weekend.
Thank you, Jessica. You spearheaded that. We how much did we end up raising?
We ended up raising over $1,100 for New Urban Arts in Providence with
Nice.
our annual Tim Davis birthday benefit.
So yeah, we're getting there, guys. Live music will happen again. Be sure to subscribe to 13 Folds Live on YouTube. I hope you guys all like the new graphics and stuff. We've been working hard at getting this thing to where we want it. Stick around. We got more music coming up for next hour. But first, here's Moonstronaut, right? This is Burke's one, isn't it? Didn't Burke write this
Yeah.
one?
It's actually called Monster Nut. My son came up with that word.
Monstronaut, Moonstronaut.
He thought it was he was saying astronaut, but he said Monster Nut, and I was like, look at Burke, you're like, that's the name of this song.
All right, so Monstronaut, here it is from Pink Polar Bear on 13 Folds Live, pirate radio without all the raping and pillaging on lemonadio.com. Folds Alive.